lilies and lords and lads of the land. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. Look at this. Look at this, baby. Now we have over 200 lilies and lads and lords and lovelies. Over 200 now. Yeah, Master Nature, he wants to say, well, he wants to thank a dude called Outcast. So thank you, dude Outcast. Master Nature wants to thank you for getting, well, we got pushed over the hump. That's right. That's right. Pushed over the hump, baby. Pushed over the hump. It's way past midnight now, baby. All right. So, we're still in the mud, right? We're still in the mud. We're still in the mud. We're not there. We're not at the final mud pit. Not yet. The final mud pit is the cover up. Why then you have to get into that. Why is there a cover up, right? That's the final mud pit. But I don't know, let's get to some of the smaller stuff, right? Like how about the grub truck stuff, right? The grub truck. All that stuff. Oh my God. A lot of stuff. A lot of stuff with the grub truck. Yeah. What do you say about it, right? I mean, some of it's compelling. Some of it's compelling. Like, okay, there is a portion where people seemingly are looking at their phones at the same time at the same thing. Now that's after Kaylee and Maddie leave the grub truck. So that's around 1:59-ish. Somewhere around there is when all that starts, I think. To 2:03 maybe, somewhere around there. But that's compelling. What are they looking at on their phones? What are they looking at? That's compelling. I mean, it's interesting. I mean, it's just, but then you have to think though, guys. See, yeah, we're playing in the mud, right? We're playing in the mud, but we still gotta kind of keep it straight a little. Like, would all those people be watching what's going on? I mean, think about that. Think about that. Would there be a live stream of this? A live stream. I mean, that's really fucked up when you think about it. If that's true, that's really fucked up. I mean, the crime itself is fucked up, right? I mean, but then you add this to it, that it was possibly live streamed. Yeah, that's a whole other level of morbidity, right? Definitely. But I don't know. Keep thinking of that line of the song we just heard. I'm worth $1 million in prizes, but I'm still sleeping on the sidewalk, right? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. What does that mean, Tyrone? Master Nature? I have no fucking idea. You're running the show right now. Master Nature is trying to get some sleep. I mean, Tyrone, not Master Nature. Tyrone, myself, is trying to get some sleep. All right. Now you run the show. I think Stanley's sleeping, so you don't have to worry about him. Stanley's sleeping. I always got one eye on him, one eyebrow, one eyebrow on Stanley at all times, baby. You have to. Oh my God, my lovelies. Oh my God, my lovelies. Hey, I tried to warn you, but you didn't listen to Tyrone or MD. Or not MD anymore. Moron. That's Morton Ronald for short, by the way. Hey, I kind of like that name, guys. But yeah, the grub truck. So, I mean, I don't know. Were they watching it? Crazy, crazy to think about that. Crazy to think about that. But then, but it's like, see, the more guys, you have to think about this. The more people you add into this mix, then the more people you have to assume are just gonna not say anything, you know? And you start taking all these people into account. All the people that were there, right? Who were, I don't know how many were at the grub truck, right? That you could say were maybe watching what was going on. How many do you think? I don't know, 6 to 10, maybe? I mean, the more people you get, right? The more you got to ask yourself, well, how can all these people just stay, not say anything? you know? See, that's where it gets all goofy. Even in the mud, even though we're stuck in the mud right now, you still have to like. I mean, that's a lot to consider. I mean, would that many people just not say anything? Like, hey, they wouldn't go to the police department the next day and say, hey, I watched this really weird live stream last night, and I'm not sure, but it looked like people were getting, like, well, hurt, unalived, maybe. I mean, right? I mean, would all these people have no conscience? Right? You have to ask yourself that question. Would all these people who are watching this have no conscience whatsoever? Would they just go home the next night and be like, "Oh yeah, that was interesting," Hey, that was a crazy night. Weird. We saw that shit, right? No, I don't think so, guys. I don't. There's got to be at least one of them who has a conscience. Fuck. I mean, if you were now put yourself in that situation, okay, guys. Let's say you were at the grub truck that night. Let's just say you were there, and let's just say that you got a notification on your phone to watch a video from whatever platform. I don't know yet, but whatever platform, and you're watching this weird fucking some dude in a mask. Homemade mask, by the way, guys. Homemade. If I didn't already tell you that before. The mask was homemade. It wasn't store-bought. It was. That's why. Okay, well, hey, we're in the mud, right? So we can talk about this, right? We're in the fucking mud. So. So the mask. Let me just say this: the mask, homemade mask, guys. Now that could be partially why Dylan had difficulty describing it. She had difficulty describing what that looked like in her police interviews. She had difficulty describing what the mask looked like. And if she's the prime, one of the primes, right? Well, at least, her and two others. Well, that would make sense to me that she wouldn't be able to describe that well enough. Because the masks, maybe, well, at least two masks, well, they were homemade. They didn't look like normal fucking ski masks. They didn't look like balaclavas, guys. They didn't look like that. They looked crude. And again, they were homemade from homemade materials, guys. Crude materials. Much like that other weapon that was used in this case. Not just a knife. Whether that's a K-bar or not, I don't know. Right? We're supposed to think it was a K-bar. But a knife, but there was also another weapon. At least one more weapon. And this weapon, guys, in the mud that we're in right now, was homemade. The weapon, the other weapons were homemade weapons, guys. Right? Homemade. Just like the mask. Right? Just like the fantasy. Just like the fucking fantasy, guys. You gotta stick with the fantasy here. Remember, it's not BK's fantasy that we're dealing with. We're not talking about his fantasy. We don't know his fantasy, right? Really, we don't. Except what we've been told by the media, right? By Dateline. No, bullshit. We don't know what he was thinking. We don't really know. Same with the frats, really. We don't really know. All right, we're in the mud. We're in the mud. And Dylan. But still. Yeah, we're speculating. But we're not. If we're dealing with fantasies, we're dealing with the prime and the frat fantasy. That's what we're dealing with here, guys. We're not dealing with BK fantasy. We're dealing with the prime and the other suspects fantasy. Why, right? Why did they do this? But anyway, that's getting off track here. But the other weapon or weapons were homemade. Okay. So you're going to see, now remember this, guys. And this comes from my friend. His name is Tanlord, and that's all I can say about him. He is another spirit master, by the way. He's another spirit master. Another spirit master. But anyway, he reminded me of the fact that there were gouges. Gouges. Ouch. Gouges. Gouges on the bodies. Not just cuts, but there were gouges of flesh, we're assuming, taken out. Now, what weapons would cause that kind of wound? Now, in my opinion, it's going to be a homemade weapon. It's going to be homemade. Yep. And in this fantasy that we're in with the frats and the prime, well, they're into that shit. They're into that shit. They're into medieval shit, right? They're into this shit. They're into that kind of stuff. That's part of the fantasy, you know? Maybe they want to be assassins. I don't fucking know what the fantasy is, but it's something to do with, well, weapons, right? Medieval. Knives. It's something, and homemade stuff. Homemade weapons, right? But it's going to be something like that. It's going to be something like, it's going to be like a medieval themed type of weapon. I'm telling you. Which would produce the gouges. So, I don't know what that would be. I don't know what that'd be yet. I'm still thinking about what would cause that. And why, if it's true, why would, if it's a lone wolf, BK, why would he stop and start carving up Ethan's legs? Not to be gross, but that's allegedly what happened. Right? No, you're not going to do that. You're not going to do that, guys. You're not going to do that. You're not going to do that. Unless you're obsessed with a few things. One, you're obsessed with you're obsessed with skinning things like a hunter would be. See, it takes a certain type of what do you call it? I don't know. Desensitization, I guess is a good word. To skin stuff. Hunters, for instance, are desensitized to that kind of stuff, right? Because that's what they're into. They want to do this stuff. They want to hunt animals. And the hardcore hunters, well, they're going to take their kill, and they're gonna dress it, right? They're gonna skin it. And they're gonna, do what they're gonna do to it to get meat or whatever they're trying to do, right? But that's hardcore hunter shit, right? They're gonna do that themselves. So skinning, something to do with skinning flesh, right? Or skin. Not human, not even, well, it's going to be animal first and then human maybe, right? But it's somebody who's not adverse to doing this, to taking a knife and doing that, no, there's going to be desensitized to it. Whoever's doing it, desensitized. But it's just odd. It's odd. I think that's odd to see that on a victim. I just find that's just such an odd. I don't know. That's such an odd thing, odd behavior to me. In all these behaviors, that's odd to me to do that. Wow, I don't get that. Now, but who would do something like that? Well, definitely a psycho. But somebody who's not adverse to skinning things. And they started with animals, most likely. So again, that would fit a hunter mentality, guys. But not just a mentality. Whoever did that on Ethan, no, a hunter. Like real hunter, sit there and start like filleting or taking off pieces of like somebody's, body. Yeah. And so anyway, to me that shouts some type of hunter, likes to hunt, not afraid to use a knife, likes to use a knife, likes to do this shit. So anyway, where were we? Yeah, we're jumping around. So anyway, the grub truck. It's compelling. Some of it's compelling. Don't get me wrong. Some of it's very compelling. You got Maddie yelling at that guy. You got Jack watching over them and getting all pissed off when they ditch him. That's compelling. Very compelling. I don't know. Then what does he do? Then he leaves and he gets into another car. Does he go back to the residence? That's a good question, right? He's all pissed off that they ditched him. So does he get in his drive and then just go home pissed off? Or does he go back? Does he go and find them? Does he go to the house? Right? I don't know. Maybe he does. I mean, if you're that pissed off that you got ditched, would you take your ride back to the house and be like, hey, what the fuck? Why'd you ditch me, guys? Maybe there's a party going on. Who knows? I don't know. Or would you just go home pissed off? that Eddie's two girls ditched me, right? Whatever he's trying to do there. So, but it's compelling. It's compelling. And they're going to get you for this. Very compelling. Extremely compelling. But again, the mud can only get us so far, though, because then what? Then what? What does that mean? What is he saying? Is he warning them? You know, them that's real. Well, we're in the mud. You guys wanted to be in the mud, so I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. How do you take that? I mean, he could be saying it could be totally innocent. It could be maybe Maddie and Kaylee. Maybe they played a prank on somebody. Maybe they played a prank on one of the frats or one of the frat boys, okay, or whatever. And and it's innocent. And Jack is saying, yeah, they're gonna get you for that. You know, that could be totally innocent, guys, right? We don't know. We don't know the context. So it could be innocent. Maybe they messed around. Maybe Kaylee and Maddie, maybe they messed around, and maybe they did played a prank on somebody or whatever. You know, it could be totally innocent. And he's saying, well, they're gonna get you for that. You know, not again, not nefarious. But then again, what if it was? What if it was nefarious? You know, they're going to get you for that. But it would have to be serious enough, something extremely serious, right? To see the result of that, like just happen a few hours later, what the result is of this warning. So it had to, if this is true, then this has to be a serious fucking warning that he's given. Maybe, right? But then again, it's like, I don't know. I think if it was that serious, I think he'd probably be trying to warn them more. I don't think he would just say they're gonna get you for that and then just drop it. You know, if he's that worried, nah. If he knew something was gonna happen to them and he actually cared about them, whatever, then he would be trying to warn them all night. You know what I mean? He's not just going to be like, hey, they're going to get you for that and then just shut his mouth. No, he's going to be like, listen, bitches. You know? That's what he's going to say is, hey, listen, you freaking bitches. you're in trouble, you know? You're in big fucking trouble. Like, I don't know what you two did, but I got word that you guys ain't safe. You know what I mean? There'd be some warning, like real warning. Like, hey guys, you can't go back to the house tonight. Cause something bad's gonna fucking happen. So, all right. So that's a little bit more mud. So the grub truck, ultimately, it's compelling. It is. It's sick to think that maybe this was televised. And it's hard to imagine though that all these people would just shut their fucking mouth. To me, that's hard to think about. There has to be one in the bunch that has a conscience. There has to be one, right? You'd think that out of all the people who would know about this, you'd think one would have a fucking conscience or isn't a sociopath. They'd go to the police, maybe not Moscow if they can't trust Moscow, but they'd go somewhere, right? Hey, this is what I saw that night. I was watching this really fucked up video, and it looked like, those four roommates who got unalived. Well, yeah, it looked like I was watching like a video of that. Somebody would say that. Fucking hell. But that leads us to the last mud stop, and that is the cover up. The cover up. All right, guys. Love you all, my babies. Tyrone loves all of you in the garden, all right? You're all part of it. You're all part of it, loves. And lilies and lads and lords and scrumpets. Scrumpets, my scrumpets. Oh my God. And 4 a.m. scrumpets. Oh, nothing better, baby. Nothing better. All right. Hey, we keep pushing. Once we get to 500, guess what happened? Guess what happened then? Well, then you're gonna see Tyrone on a T-shirt. That's right. That's right. Tyrone is gonna be on his own fucking T-shirt. All right, and it's gonna be say like it's gonna be like a bingo scene. Like Tyrone is gonna be at fucking bingo, and it's gonna be all smoky and shit. You know, and it's gonna be me on a shirt, and it'll be like bingo. That's what it's gonna say. All right, love you all. We talk tomorrow. Love you. Hey, remember, the only person that controls you is you. Okay, I love you. Hey, let's drift off into some good, pleasant sleep tonight. Some good dreamscapes, love. Dreamscapes, babies. All right, bye, babies. Love you all. Bye, bye.